Because the difficult conversations they're hard to have because it's uncomfortable.
Oh, yeah.
It's uncomfortable to have dialogue, right?
Oh, so much.
And a lot of times people say, well, I don't like conflict. And I'm like, but why does everything have to be a conflict? Why do we view having a difficult conversation as having conflict?
I follow this lady, and she was talking about sometimes to get back to where our goals are, we need to look up the definition of what words mean.
Mm-hmm.
Because things get
lost in translation.
So conflict means a serious disagreement or argument, typically a protracted one. So not all conflicts have to be negative.
Right.
Not all arguments have to have a negative outcome, right? But
correct.
And that's the part that we have to kind of give ourselves permission to maybe lean into and consider, is sometimes we what if ourselves into thinking that the worst come scenario is always going to come to pass. But it's a double-edged sword, right? Because sometimes you know that having conflict with someone or a conversation with someone that maybe is not emotionally mature or is very reactive, you find yourself being like, well, I fall into this trap of I want to have a conversation with someone, but I feel like once they get triggered, they don't hear me. So it's kind of like being mindful of your audience at the same time. And that's where I think we get lost, is that it's not as simple as you need to do this and then everything will be different.
Right.
It's like you have to really break down the entire thing when you talk about communication.